morning. Good 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 morning, good people of Earth. Hope everyone is well. We are live at the USBC Queens here from Wichita, Kansas, North Rock Lanes. My name is Emil Williams Jr., and I will be here with you for probably all of today. We will have, or we do have, I should say, as Jason Thomas has already mentioned, 7 channels of coverage here this week. And so far, so good. We'll be behind lanes 27 through 30. This will be the featured pairs at least to probably through qualifying, and we'll double check just to make sure all is well when we begin match play. But we got a few days before we get there. I want to say hello to again all of the good folks watching, those who may not be commenting, which is totally okay. You just may be hanging out, maybe at work, getting some morning coffee. Whatever it is you may be doing, we appreciate you tuning in. And we thank you very much. For those of you who are in the chat, thank you. Roland and Holsen, Thomas, Barbara. My man Chris Tim is in the building. I saw some earlier names. Jennifer is here. Darrell, Sharon. My man Aaron. Aaron gets an extra special treat. He gets to at least see a place he's very familiar with, which is North Rock Lanes. This is certainly the home of Wichita State, that is. Home of the Shockers. And so always a good time when we come to Wichita. Excellent bowling community. And certainly one that enjoys, loves bowling as well. And that goes encompassing from the media perspective as well. 27 through 30 features Samantha Kreiner. Samantha, a young player, still in college. I am pretty sure. I think she had just completed her junior season at Texas Southern. Julia Bond, coming off a very good Lincoln Regional win and a very nice event overall, finishing 6th in the national event and then winning the regional last week at Sun Valley Lanes. And the USBC Hall of Famer Lucy Sandelin, first American to win the women's division of the Cubica AMF World Cup back in 1976. On 29 and 30, Kayla Crawford. I believe Kayla just wrapped up her collegiate career at St. Ambrose. Brooke Bauer. Brooke and her sister Nicole bowling this week. They bowled last week too, so good to see them back out. Elise Bolton off to a very good start here with a 3-bagger, open in the 4th, and a double. Elise already with a win on the regional side of things in 2019. As we get a good look at Crawford, asking for it to lay off just a touch, it does. And Crawford with a 4-bagger. And rounding out this that pair is Jackie Evans, or Jacqueline Evans, one of our very good tour rookies. Here in 2019, you saw her last week make the regional stepladder final. Another bright young star on the PWBA Tour. 5 games of qualifying, so it'll be a little bit different than what you're used to this week, or excuse me, during the season. Good shot there from Sandelin, and she gets a 3-bagger. 5 games will feel probably more like a sprint than what we're used to seeing in an 8-game block, so to speak. Queens format, if you're unfamiliar, there are 3 squads, A, B, C. Tomorrow we'll have BCA in that order of times. The times are 8, I believe, 12:30 and 5. Or it's either 8 noon and 5. I could be wrong. There will be some burn. And the last squad of the day will always bowl on fresh. Again, 5 games per block. And then it'll be CAB on Wednesday. Or excuse me, not Wednesday. What's today? On Saturday. That'll be the order of squads to bowl. Then we'll find out who will make the cut. We will advance the top 64 players, including the defending champion, Shannon O'Keefe. By being the defending champion, Shannon is guaranteed a spot in match play, meaning if she happens to fall out of the top 64 at any point, and especially once competition or qualifying is complete, even if she is in the 120th place, which is probably not going to happen, just being honest with you. But if it does, that extreme example would put her as the 64th qualifier. And she would bowl the #1 seed, whoever that may be. If she is in the top 64, whatever place she finishes in after qualifying, that will be her seed. And then we'll get into our double elimination 3-game total pinfall matches. As the Queens is, of course, you're familiar with the Masters, exact same format. Always fun to watch it unfold. It's very unpredictable. You can have an idea based on the bracket and seeds and all of the above, but you never know how it's going to shake out. The only thing we know right now is Kayla Crawford's got a very determined look on her face as we get started here with qualifying as Kreiner. Good shot in the 10th. Kreiner's got a very good physical game to me. I've watched her a little bit in competition collegiately at the SWAC Championship. I helped Texas Southern win the SWAC Championship actually 2 seasons ago. She's got a very good tool base to me where, she chooses to navigate the PWBA Tour at some point. I think she's got a very good place to start, and obviously continued improvement along with coaching and all of the above. There's Jackie Evans. Evans off to a slow start. She got off to a slow start last week in the regional step ladder as she faced Erin Zuprinsky, but made some nice adjustments in the key ball change, although she ended up falling short 194 to 190 to Zuprinsky for advancing to advance to the title match. But you can see the growth. I learned that Elise and Jackie are tour roommates. Julia Bond struggling here in game #1. By the way, all of your information that you need, of course, is available pwba.com/live. We do have live scoring this week, thanks to Merrick Scoring in Brunswick. Shout out to Rick Barbera. Opening 146 for Julia Bond, who has plenty of experience here at the Queens. She's bowled it twice, if my memory serves correct. Has made match play both times. This week's lane condition: 39 feet with 26.9 milliliters. You can check out the pattern. Fourth stop on the Professional Women's Bowling Association Tour. What a nice break in the ninth for Kayla Crawford. We've had a very good start to the season, and we know that the majors always produce the best. And so it should be a very fun week. Live television this week, folks. Don't forget to set your DVRs right now. If you're at work, get your iPhone out, get your Samsung Galaxy out, get your Google Pixel out. Dial up your respective cable or satellite or YouTube TV or Hulu or anything with a DVR mechanism that gets CBS Sports Network. Dial it up right now. So if you're not going to be in a place where you can watch immediately on Tuesday night, you make sure that you have got it DVR'd. It'll be 8 p.m. Eastern Time. 8 p.m. Eastern Time, prime time. Not quite Dion prime time, but prime time nonetheless. Because Prime is in a class by himself. All right, 4-pin there for Bolton. I want to thank the crew this week as we get going. Aaron Smith has been here since Sunday. If you recall, I mentioned Aaron made the trip out early to get to Wichita. And, you know, right before the Queens, there is always a rush of obviously great athletes, great bowlers who will be who take their turn at the women's championships. And this year was nothing short of spectacular, as numerous lead changes, some within 5 to 10 minutes of one another, multiple 300s. Katie Sutphin, Leanne Holsenberg, the newly minted PWBA Hall of Famer, Leanne Holsenberg. We'll get into the Hall of Fame as we go along. Bauer with a 6'10" to take care of. She's trying to get to 171 here very early. It's Kayla Crawford looking to really get off to a great start here. She's got 6 in a row. And, boy, you hate it when that happens. Trouble in the 10th. And potential open, but we've seen some cooler things happen actually saw this thing made last week. Jason Thomas this week is going to play multiple roles. He'll be in the chat, helping Maestro, which he's already doing. Open frame in that 10th, Crawford, 221. We will not have Brant Houghton until early in the week, next week. I believe Brant is off to watch his sister graduate from college. And that certainly is where he should be. I thank Brant for all of his contributions to what we have done so far this year and will do. Here's Evans. First shot, 10th frame for Jackie. And a wobbly 8-pin. North Rock Lanes does bring back some memories for me too. Bowled at least, two events. One was the Intercollegiate Team Championships. Came back here as a grad assistant and a coach for the squad. A couple years after that. Been here for some PWBA stops as well. And also back here for ITCs in 2016. So plenty of experience here at North Rock. The good people, again, of Wichita. Everyone here at the bowling center, including Frank and Kathy DeSocio. Proprietors here at North Rock, and Brent Bowers. the general manager here. Always enjoy my talks with Brent. Bolton shoots 212, Jackie Evans shoots 170, and we're on to game number 2 of qualifying. This is A Squad. My name is Emil Williams Jr. I'll be rocking with you. I hope you're rocking with me. I'll be back in a moment, folks. Stay tuned. You're watching the USBC Queens A Squad Day 1 here on Bowl TV. welcome back to Bowl TV. Game 2 underway. We're joined by Debbie Ayers, Trista Kims, Siti Rahman. Siti with a lot of good memories here in Wichita. She won the 2017 Wichita Open. And Emily Peterson rounding out 27 and 28. Nicole Bauer, Sarah Willie, and Angie Ramirez back in the mix and competing. And already out with a 4-bagger, minus 11 after one game for Angie. Pocket 7-10 for Sarah Willie. Trista bowled in the Twin Cities Open. From the area and in the Twin Cities, of course. Actually from the great city of Eagan, which is where Cedarville Lanes is located. As you see, Debbie Ayers. Debbie was in the stepladder finals of the Senior Queens this season. That event ultimately won by USBC PWBA Hall of Famer Jeannie Nacarado. If you're interested in that event, checking out the archives, you can. It's available on bowltv.com. That's got a hook. And Ramirez, one got away from her a little bit. A bit of a, it's going to be somewhat of a long day, but it's going to be a different long day, if that makes any sense. I mentioned earlier at the top of the broadcast, we're used to the days seem probably longer than they really are. But when you have 8 games, sometimes there can be a few lulls in a block, depending on how many players are on a pair, especially. You know, again, today with five games in a block, it's going to be a very different experience for some players who are only used to a PWBA standard event. Some of the rookies, for example. And many of these rookies, though, to their credit, have bowled the Queens before. So they do have an understanding of how the format works. But, you know, there'll be a lot of downtime that, you know, quite frankly, the players aren't used to. And so they will really have a chance to, you know, kind of get out and do their own thing if they want. Manage their time properly. You know, for those obviously bowling right now, you got the rest of the day and all day tomorrow. Because the A squad will not hit the lanes again until tomorrow night or tomorrow evening at 5 p.m. I know for some that's going to mean a lot of work for someone like Angie, who is working on the road. Someone like Valerie Bercier, who also works on the road. Jody Westner puts in some time on the road as well in their respective jobs. In the chat room specifically, are you guys referring to Nicole Bauer? I saw something about backswing and Nicole. I assume you're referring to Nicole Bauer. Well, Angie can't get that one started left, at least on the left lane. Good spare for Peterson. Let's take a look at Nicole. Yeah, backswing certainly high. I guess that's one of those things I've noticed before, but don't really notice because I'm so used to seeing the players. And so some things are just second nature to me. But I'm happy that you guys, kind of check out certain players and notice some of the things that make them very unique and kind of do what they do specifically. Interesting note about Nicole, she's also into race cars. If you guys don't know anything about the Bauer family, I always forget the type of racing and car that she does drive. It's not like a funny car or anything, but now I'm going to have to ask her about that. Every year we talk about it, and shame on me. I went to a site visit in Harrisburg last year at ABC West, which is where the Bauer Family Bowling Center is. And saw her plaques and a couple pictures on the walls there at the bowling center. And she actually had a really cool jersey made kind of based on her racing as well. But she said she had gotten a few races in, but there had been some rain and whatnot in the area, but she had a few races ongoing. She's very popular in NPA. Well, so far this pair, and that left lane specifically for Angie, it's as Destiny's Child once said, a bugaboo. All right, Ramirez made the spare. Of course, 3 on the pair on 29 and 30, so moving a little swiftly. Big shot there from Sarah Willie. Sarah, former Team USA member. Was on the squad last year. I tell you, sometimes when I'm trying to get to something on my computer, I'm the gentleman who has. I use Word quite a bit, right? So I might have like I don't know, 8 Windows tabs open, or I'm sorry, Word windows. I mean, it's just sometimes then I go to close it. I'm like, oh, did you save that? Oh, I need that open. No, you really don't need it. Just close it, bro. It's okay. Ramirez back on her good lane. She struck 5 times on the right lane. A little bit more direct, looks like, on that right lane. Nicely done for Ramirez. I'm sure she feels she probably left a few pins out there. Missed single pin and the 2 bugaboos. 7 counts on the left lane, but so take 224 on a pattern that's so far. And obviously it's just the first squad. There'll be plenty of adjustments. There are B squatters right now watching this. Hello to all you B squatters out there watching. There's some C squatters out watching as well. Certainly some C squad. They want to know what's popping on the fresh. B squad wants to know where they're going to start when they enter the building today. But so far playing, I would say, yeah, after a game, I won't say that how anybody expected. I didn't have any expectations looking at the graph. And I most of the time try not to, in more of a general sense, because I've learned over the years, certainly, that watching practice can only get you so far. You really need the first couple games to be able to really tell you some good information. And certainly talking with those who are knowledgeable. .224 for Angie, Nicole, 160, and Sarah Willie. Former McKendree standout. City had gotten it together after that early open. I heard some refs discuss at the arrows 13-14 as a target point. If you're curious about certain players and where they might be located, you'll definitely want to check out pwba.com/live or the schedule page. You'll have pairings. You can also check out the full roster if you're interested in who actually is bowling. We've got 192 players as of yesterday. Always double check that just in case, yeah, we had some folks. Just in case anyone dropped out. All right, folks, 29 and 30 is out of there, but we've got obviously continued bowling here on 27 and 28. And if you can't get enough bowling, make sure you listen in to the Out of Range podcast featuring Tony Franklin and crew as they talk about everything on the lanes and off. That's very important because they do get into some cool stuff with some of the game's biggest and brightest stars stopping by each week. So be sure to check that out on Bull TV. Out of Range with Tony Franklin, also Derek Hardnell and Matt McFadden on Bull TV. Some good stuff right there from Mr. Franklin. Newly minted Hall of Famer in his own right, I believe in the Texas State Hall of Fame, with he and his wife Jeannie. So congratulations to Tony. I believe Derek and Matt will be here doing some work and grabbing some sound bites and covering the event so they can recap it as well on Out of Range. I look forward to hearing that. You can check that out. Backstage. It's part of our Backstage channel. Live content. Speaking of Backstage, I'm just going to tease it, but there was some really cool stuff that took place last night, and hopefully we'll be able to get that up for you at some point today. And when it's up, I'll let you know, because I want you to flock to it like bees on honey. Aaron, yes, he is. Off and doing what he does best. Speaking of Nathan, he is here. The majors, Nathan's always in the building, though, but majors often present kind of full teams in regards to brand representation or ball reps. Man, Dell Ballard is here this week, too. Good to see Dell. So be back-to-back opens potentially for Sid T. No bounce there on the 10 to the 7, so the pocket 7-10 on the 9th. Now only looking at 193. Rock Lanes will be our home all week. TV show scheduled again Tuesday night. Jennifer, not at this time, but that may be something to, that's always in discussion, so to speak. I'll double check, but I'm pretty sure that would be a no at the moment. So far, to me, this pattern is looks to be some opportunity to score. I'm interested to see what the latter portion of this block will look like in regards to how the lanes transition. Again, that's going to affect a ton of things for other squads, how they elect to, for example, how the B squad will elect to start on the fresh tomorrow. Will be, kind of based on what they see today. There are some players with a few good looks out there, but we've seen a few pocket 710s already from various players. And if you happen to, of course, miss a makeable or something along those lines, then you're really in trouble. Haley Richard, Donna Dowd, and Anita Arnett. Wichita State Shocker, former Collegiate Bowler of the Year, Most Valuable Player, First Team All-American, National Champion. I could go on and on. Good to see Anita here. I didn't see her hubby, who I always see generally when she is bowling an event, and then I'm there, Omar. But she said nope, not this week. She and Samantha Howe made the trip out. She said no husbands yet, no children this week, at least not yet. And I said, well, of course they'll be here when you make the show. Said, well, absolutely. Anita, of course, the nurse. 2 children with husband Omar. So, again, good to see her back out. Tina Williams is bowling too, by the way. She didn't go to Wichita State. She went to West Texas A&M. But she always bowls a few events a year. And back living in Texas, actually. So, a bit of a shorter trip for her and her husband, Stu, son Brady. All right, that'll do it. 192 for Peterson. Kim's 188. Open in the 10th for Trista after getting back on point after some struggles early in the game. We're on to game number 3 here on Bowl TV. We'll be back in a moment with you as we begin our day 1 coverage. A squad here. My name is Emil Williams Jr. You're watching the USBC Queens on BowlTV.com. That was unexpected. Before folks go throwing the shade at the wrong people, the internet was not the culprit in its truest terms. It was a 3-ball bag, actually, that was the culprit. 3-ball bag abruptly stopped your stream because it disconnected some cabling that we have taped. And wouldn't you know it, those connections were the only portion that was untaped. And so, that power strip that was connecting our nice internet switch was disconnected. Day 1 of the Queens. Let's go. Well, we're back up. You guys are still here. And we'll get through it. I'll tell you, though, my live streaming book is really getting long now. These chapters are growing. Various ways to lose a stream by Emil Williams Jr. with lots of input from various authors. I agree with that, Chris. Yeah, that was a channel duster we just had. I'd like to think we made the spare by getting it back on the air. We made the spare. I think at the time of the foul or the gutter, we did throw a strike because we were smooth sailing. I was getting into my rhythm. Then I fouled, or someone fouled on our behalf. Speaking of who's not fouling, Lindsey Boomershine down on 23 and 24. She's got the front 6. But Nicole DePaul Miller on that same pair opens up with a 3-bagger, 7-spare double. That pair is live, and all pairs should be back up and running. All right, now that we're back in our mode here, let's check out some standings after a couple of games. So Valerie Bercier is in the lead at plus 77. Heck of a shot there from Tina Williams. Nice double there for Tina in frames 5 and 6. Again, Bercier leading the way right now, plus 77. 198-279 for Valerie. Ileana Lomeli, plus 32 in second from Mexico. Bernice Lim is third. Former Queens champion 2016 at plus 30 from Singapore. Erin McCarthy is fourth at plus 29. Anita Arnett fifth at plus 24. Jasmine Mason is sixth at plus 21. Angie Ramirez is seventh at plus 13. Liz Colkin and Shannon Pluhowski tied for eighth at plus 10. And Melissa Garb 10th right now at plus 9. Clara Guerrero is 11th at plus 8. Karen Marcano 12th at plus 6. Jordan Richard is 13th at plus 5. Audra Rennick is 14th at plus 1. Kayla Crawford even 15th. 15 players even after, or even or plus, excuse me, after 2 games. It says a little bit about what we're bowling on here. This is Audra here on 28. 10-pin made. The Queens always brings to me an opportunity, as you see a lot of non-members to get a chance to shoe it up. Not that they don't have a chance very often, but in my experience, and I'm sure most of you have seen, if a non-member or amateur is going to give it some run, the Queens generally is when many elect to compete. This, of course, and now with some regional events and some regional opportunities, they may maybe add to their schedule, which would be great. Haley Richard 184, Donna Dow 155. This is game 3 of 5. If you are just joining us. As Williams leaves the 10 pin. Nice shot there from Stephanie Schwartz. Steph now on a 3-bagger. Steph originally from Racine, Wisconsin, but she went to Stephen F. Austin, where she was multi-time first-team All-American, won a national championship, won an intercollegiate singles championship as well, and is teaching there in Nacogdoches. So her season starts a little late. We've had several teachers who are members, non-members, who come out and compete around this time. Once either the school year is complete for most, or at a point to where they can get to a few events. Of course, if they're participating in summer school or teaching summer school, that could be a little different. Andrew. Speaking of players that I know might be from the Midwest, Brianna is one of those players from Orland Park. Not her first time. I should say not her first time that I've seen her bowl. I can't remember if it's been the Queens. I feel that it has. 10 pin there for Schwartz. Look at Audra here. Again, +1. Kind of going right to left. It's firm ball speed. So far, so good for Audra. Don't see many players with that angle, a line of attack. See where Tina's playing. Oh, late carry. Well, Tina right in that 13, 14-ish area as well. Nice shot there from Andrew, but wow. Seven pin taken care of from Andrew. Let's see if Audra can double up here. And she can. Audra, in some ways, kind of taking the lane out of play. Ball speed right now is and working in her favor. If she can get the angle right and consistent. Excellent shot to the second and the 10th for Schwartz. See, that shot from Schwartz kind of gives you that idea that there is some room to play with. There's not much, though. Nice bounce back game for Lindsay Boomershaw. I mentioned she had the front 6. She opened in the 7th, but she can now get to 243. We're on 23 and 24. Ball change for Schwartz. Nicely done. I think with enough events, just from the experience perspective, Stephanie Schwartz is going to win multiple titles, in my opinion, on the PWBA tour. I'm not saying she's going to do that this year. And she certainly could. She has all of the ability, but sometimes, you know, you don't really need to see much. The proof is in the pudding. You know her background. She was out last year for some events. Went through some struggles like other rookies. Had some success as well. She's got a good crew to room with this season with Julia Bond and Jasmine Mason. Very familiar with one another from their NCAA days and competing. Nebraska for Jasmine and Julia. Talked about Stephanie and Stephen F. Austin. All right, final shot here of game number 3. All right, 188. Not a bad game there for Tina. That 7-pin wouldn't go down a few times. We're off to game number 4. And just for the sake of it, I'm going to go double check and make sure that we put some tape down in that area that I was talking about earlier that was clipped by a 3-ball bag. We'll double check that and make sure we've got enough down there. But game 4 is on the way next. And you can see Juliana Franco, Amanda Fry is back with us, and Almi Guerra. 27 and 28. Don't go anywhere. You're watching USBC Queens coverage here on Bowl TV. All right, good people of Earth. How many of you watched Captain Planet? Every time I say good people of Earth, I generally think about Captain Planet. I don't know why. It's not where I got that term from or that phrase. It's just something I like. Maybe I heard it from someone else. But when I think Earth, I think my man Kwame. Earth, fire, wind, water, heart. There's this thing on Facebook I've been seeing that either you throw in a photo or some description of like something back in the day, and it says, I'm this old. So I guess I'm Captain Planet old. Amanda Fry, I came back and jinxed her. She was doing her thing. And it's good to see Amanda back out. Talked to her briefly. She had some flight delays, so she actually missed the practice session. She was trying to get to the last one and was unable to. So with no practice and to be 47 under after 3, probably not too shabby. And she's going to gain some pins back here. All right, she still should gain a few at least. Of course, Amanda made the show here at the Queens last year. It was in Reno, Nevada at the National Bowling Stadium. Juliana Franco, she's made a couple of TV shows in her time. Shannon Puhalski, Kara Roberts, Lilia Robles, and Shelby Harms on 29 and 30. Again, Juliana Franco, Amanda Fry, Naomi Guerra. Wow, just as I say that, now trouble for Fry here in the ninth. So far for lefties. For Angie Ramirez, we saw her trouble kind of come in the on the left lane, actually on lane 29, where if she wasn't direct up the lane, she was missing the head pin left. That one looked to be kind of similar. That's got a good shot. All right, back-to-back opens here for Fry. She's got to bounce back quickly. All right, trouble avoided for Puhalski. Shannon's already made one step ladder finals appearance this year. It happened at the opening event. 10th frame, Franco going to the bag to get a new piece of equipment. As Guerra from the Dominican Republic to take care of the 10 pin. 10th frame, that one's a touch left. .156 for Guerra to the open. Nice shot there from Harms. Be interesting to see how the left breaks down this year. Not that that is a topic of noteworthy discussion. It's always something to kind of keep in mind when you look at players. You know, Amanda Fry, Shannon Pluhowski. We've got Katie Garcia in the field, former Shocker as well. She's actually on 25 and 26, a pair to our left. And there'll be a few more in the field. Certainly we saw Angie. Actually, there's several in this squad. How do we think about that? All right, Liz Colkin, the old hop, skip, and a jump. Entering your screen on the left side there. Nice shot for Liz. You can check her out on 23 through 26. All right, Fry able to stop the bleeding there. And she will look to strike for 225. Don't forget to check out live scoring. It's also on the PWBA.com/live page. This week, thanks to Brunswick and Merrick Scoring. Open frame for Harms in the 8th. See Jasmine Mason, one pair to our right. She is -3. Pluhowski now with a double. Let's take a look at our scores after 3 games. Bercier followed her 279 with 246. She leads at plus 123. Ileana Lomeli second at plus 56. Jordan Richard is third at plus 52. Rebecca Whiting fourth at plus 46. Anita Arnett fifth at plus 33. Shannon Pluhowski is sixth at plus 22. Angie Ramirez is seventh at plus 20. Liz Colkin is eighth at plus 17. Clara Guerrero is ninth at plus 14. Erin McCarthy is 10th at plus 8. For reference, let's go all the way down. No, let's go to 32. Minus 37 is 32nd currently. There's 64 players per squad. Of course, we're taking the top 64. Leah has bowled the last couple of events. Lily always bowls a few events per year. She'll bowl a few on the West Coast as well. That's where we head next. We're actually heading to Sonoma County. PWBA Sonoma County Open. That would be the third consecutive year. Maybe the fourth, if my memory serves correct, but at least 3. PWBA has had a stop in Sonoma. That's going to be the 4th year. We'll also have our 3rd regional. Nice shot there from Pluhowski. 3rd regional of the season. And Sonoma as well. Regional will happen June 2nd. The stepladder finals will take place June 1st from Sonoma. Shannon with a 3-bagger. Pured. That was just pured. That was as pure as freshly squeezed OJ. Oh. Robles gets one to fall for it. The 10-pin. All right, good place for that. Nice finish for Pluhowski. 206, so that'll take her to plus 28 for 4 games. Again, Queens qualifying 5 games per day per squad. So after 15 games, the top 64 players, including, well, I should say it'll be the top 63 and the defending champion Shannon O'Keefe. Because she is the defending champion, she is automatically spot into match play. Robles, nicely done. 201. If Shannon can, if she happens to finish outside of the top 64, she will be the 64th seed for match play. So she has an opportunity to, as most champions do, or folks in this situation, obviously taking notes and trying to prepare like she normally would. But if she needed to, or wanted to take a you know, a risk maybe that she wouldn't take in a normal situation. She can afford to do that to try a different line of attack or different ball selection, etc. But if I know Shannon, she's going to do what she normally does. It's hard to repeat, certainly, with this format. We're off to game number 5. It's going to go quick. Theoretically, it should take about 3 hours or so to complete a round or a squad. So I'm going to take one momentary break. I'm going to switch camera to a scoreboard and make one adjustment. So please do not be alarmed when you see a scoreboard only on your screen here in just 1 second. All right, back in a moment with you here on Bowl TV. right, Bernice Lim, Jasmine Snell, Madeline McDuff, Erin McCarthy, Alicia Curran, Azarette Zetter, Sabrina Duncan Rose. Alicia Curran minus 52. Azarette Zetter bowled very well last year at the USBC Queens. Final game of qualifying here. Zetter finished kind of tied in that 33rd through 48 range of players who went 1 and 2 in match play. There you see why Azarette not only bowled well, but is a pretty solid bowler, period. Again, this is the final game of qualifying for A squad. B squad will begin at noon. All right, Alicia Curran. Double, 8-spare double. You've seen some of this migration on this 39-foot pattern. Jasmine Snell missed last week's cut in Lincoln by 1 pin. was plus 23. The cut was plus 24. Again, bowling in a place of familiarity. Lincoln, Nebraska, former Cornhuskers. Of course, last week we were, again, Lincoln, the home of Nebraska. This week, Wichita, the home of Wichita State. Two of most iconic programs in college bowling, certainly. Speaking of Wichita State, saw Gordon Vatican announce his retirement effective June 13th, 2019. Saw a couple photos of some of the former Shockers, the players bowling this week, stopping by and taking a photo with Coach Vatican and Coach Lewis. I think about the many lives of and the young athletes at the time, certainly, and now helping mold them into good to great players. I'm sure some from many varying instances in regards to skill level, to good, to great, and certainly better people. I wish Coach V nothing but the best in his retirement. Always enjoy my conversations with him, and certainly will be missed in our sport. But you appreciate someone like that for all they have done, the contributions, those kind of the things that, sometimes you don't really think about how impactful someone is. Now, obviously, those who went to the school or part of the program know exactly what he has meant. Those outside may not have obviously that detailed insight, if you will, but you know what he's meant to the program just from his time there, his time on Team USA, coaching, etc. All right, Snell, three-bagger. Trying to end this block on a good note here. Right now, minus 73 for 4 games and a missed single pin for Alicia Current. McCarthy's shot there looked like it just kind of stood up when it got to the 1-3 and leads a 7-10. Again, B squad will be bowling on what is left from this, the burn squad today. And Azarette, that one clearly fell off her hand earlier than she would have liked. I didn't see, I was kind of looking for something to maybe pop off, or maybe the slug came out and was in the gutter. Looks like it might have just came off her hand. She actually came back to almost kind of get a little bit of moisture, or maybe dry it off. She's got a sports drink bottle here back on the counter, the settee, and she went to grab that a little bit to hopefully get a better feel. And a spare. And a nice exhale. Hey, nothing lost there. No count lost. 9 spare on that scoreboard. That's not the easiest thing to do. Because your mind could go all over the place. It's like, well, did I lose it? Is something wrong? Now I got to throw another good shot. And she did it very well, as did Sabrina Duncan-Rose. Head coach at Texas Southern mentioned Samantha Kreiner, who started the day on this pair. A player at Texas Southern. Sabrina is here bowling. Sabrina was the 2002 PWBA Rookie of the Year. And Zener back at it, striking in the 7th frame. Here's McCarthy on 27. Much better shot, and she's able to kick the 10 out. Barbara, Kelly and Liz will be bowling. Liz is on B squad, I know for a fact. And Kelly is on C squad. So you'll see Liz Johnson next. And you'll see Kelly at 5 p.m. Central Time. There we go. That's an Aaron McCarthy shot right there. Two USBC Hall of Famers we just talked about, Liz and Kelly. Tish Johnson is in the field this week. USBC and PWBA Hall of Famer. Speaking of the PWBA Hall of Fame, I would encourage you, if you didn't watch it last night live, go back and watch it, folks. It was obviously overdue, certainly. But that goes without saying. When your tour is not available or around, you can't really induct people. And I want to thank everyone who had a part of what took place last night. The venue was excellent at the Wichita Marriott. The room was phenomenal. I want to thank Tennille Milligan, our Director of Operations, for kind of just spearheading the process and all the details and putting that team together in regards to their decor and creativity in the room and RSVP and all of that stuff, certainly. I want to thank Nicole Osborne, Tangela Chance, Steve Silva, Jason Thomas did a wonderful job as always of creating excellent Hall of Fame videos that portray the inductees to a T. A lot of emotions last night. as you would expect with everything going on, and certainly the inductees themselves. Donna Connors in the meritorious builder type category. And the performance inductees, Wendy McPherson and Leanne Barrett Holsenberg. Anne-Marie Dugan, a special presentation for her. She was able to speak. She was not, or didn't get that chance in 2002, or 3, I beg your pardon, 2003 when she was inducted. But yeah, so check that out. It is available in the archived events on bowltv.com. It's also free, meaning it was free last night, and so if there's some players or some folks that you know who wanted to check it out, maybe thought that you had to subscribe to check it out, that is a free event and will live free on the site. The first place you should always check is the archived events. It'll be on ways to kind of scroll right to find it, so I would just encourage you to use the channel navigation at the top of the page if you're on desktop. Front 8 over on 17 and 18 if you're curious. Angie Ramirez. Angie trying to finish this block on a very, very good note. Saw her earlier, and she had a pretty good look. All right, Jasmine Snell. Trying to cut a big chunk out of her minus right now. Our scores after 4 games: Valerie Bercier, I beg your pardon, plus 115. All right, front 9 for Ramirez. So you can check Angie's 300 attempt. On the 15 through 18 channel. Get back to the standings. Bercier plus 115. Sabrina Duncan Rose finishes with 184. Ileana Lomeli from Mexico in second at plus 71. Jordan Richard moved into third at plus 66. Anita Arnett is fourth at plus 53. Rebecca Whiting is fifth at plus 43. Liz Colkin and Andrew Ramirez, for the moment, tie for sixth place at plus 42. Johanna Puentes from Colombia is 8th at plus 34. Stephanie Schwartz is 9th at plus 32. Shannon Pluhowski 10th at plus 28. 205 for current, and Deseret Zetter will finish with 184. Ramirez left a 9 count of some kind. Looks like maybe a 7-pin from my angle. All right, Bernice. 3-bagger here for Lim. Remember, Bernice was, obviously she won the Queens, so that made her famous. But on that show, for those of you who may remember, she was, she had a Rubik's Cube that was keeping her occupied during or in between shots during breaks. Became one of those things that you just gotta keep an eye on television. All right, Snell. Fist pump on that one, certainly. The 5-bagger. She had a chance to get to 279. She would go all the way down to -6. Or I beg your pardon, +6. I feel like there were some folks I forgot to thank in regards to the Hall of Fame ceremony, but obviously USBC BPAA, Chad Murphy, Executive Director of the United States Bowling Congress, Frank DeSocio, Executive Director of the Bowling Proprietors Association of America, the respective boards from each organization. I want to thank the PWBA Hall of Famers that were in attendance. It was a very nice evening all around, but to see, you know, of course, players, former players, staff members, you know, kind of get together from their previous years and generations, and really, really good stuff. I want to thank all of the, well, everyone who attended, certainly, but there were a lot of current PWBA members, and you would certainly expect many to attend, but there are a lot of young players, and I'm talking the players who are 1 to 2 years removed from college. I know, honestly, after listening to some of the speeches, I was kind of fired up to go bowl. Lim. All right, 4 in a row for Bernice. So I'm hoping that, and I'm sure they did, you know, young players and even players that aren't as young, not the fresh out of college, but who have certainly taken a hold of this current PWBA tour and really just kind of make it their own. And, you know, it's not what it once was in every facet. It's different, and that's totally okay. But it's here, and you gotta be able to make it your own. And, the inductees really talked about that, and thankful that certainly the tour has returned. Thankful for the opportunity for many players, the current players, to continue on. Nearly an 8-pin there for McCarthy. Oh, son, that's I'm glad you were able to check that out. Of course, that is where the great Liz Johnson first became Liz Johnson, if you will. Lim will try a different piece just to give it a whirl. So probably take some notes. Remember where she ended up, where she finished on the lane, 217. .180 for McCarthy. I think a little bewildered there as her spare ball backed up. Snell with a 7-pin at end of the run. On the spare will put her in the 250s. All right, she'll take that. And B Squad will have a little over an hour before they hit the lanes. Actually, about an hour. Practice will begin in about 1 hour from now. All right, 255 for Snell to get to -18, and that's a good stamp on the end of the day. For Snell, we still have bowling ongoing, folks, if you want to check it out. '31 through 34 still ongoing. 23 through 26 just wrapped up competition. 35 through 38 also just finished. 39 through 42 also just completed as well. 15 through 18 looks to be about done. And they are. 19 through 22. They look to be complete as well. And so we'll have to go back to, what did I say, 31 through 34? That one is still happening. So still got a few frames left. So that is where you can check out the remainder of the events. Aaron, we will be shutting it down. We'll be shutting things down. And we'll see you back here in about an hour. Same channels. These are our channels for the week, at least through qualifying. And we feel we've got everything we need from a match play perspective, but we'll double check when we get to that point, or right before it, I should say, make sure we are aligned properly. All right, so I'm going to take the rare 60 minutes that we get, and you'll get maybe the early lunch. So, having said that, that will do it for us here. Appreciate everyone tuning in. Again, about an hour from now, practice will begin, and B Squad will be on the lanes, be on the burn squad at noon Central, 1 p.m. Eastern time. So, noon Central, 1 p.m. Eastern. Here on Bowl TV. So for Aaron Smith, Jason Thomas, Curtis Von Kruger, and our entire tournament staff, led by Tennille Milligan, along with Kathy Waka, Greg Thomas, or excuse me, Greg Moore. Senior Director of Tournaments.
Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes A Squad first round of competition for the 2019 USBC Queens. Ladies,
Greg will be doing this thing on the TV set as well, getting that all prepped and ready to go later in the week, and we appreciate all he does. I'll see you in 1 hour. My name is Emil Williams Jr. We'll talk to you soon. It's been a presentation of Round 1 coverage of the United States Bowling Congress Queens from North Rock Lanes. You watched it live, and you watched it only on Bowl TV.
Athletes incoming, please give A Squad time to remove their equipment from the bowlers area before invading that area. Thank you very much.